This is a stimulus update. In this video, we'll go over the latest news regarding getting a second stimulus check, which states are currently paying out the unemployment boost, and which is giving out a $900 retroactive check. And then we'll also go into the CDC eviction moratorium and what are the rental assistance programs. Really quick, let's talk about the unemployment benefits first, then we'll move on to stimulus. So these are the current states that are paying officially this week. We have Montana, Arizona, Texas, Louisiana, Missouri, Tennessee, and Massachusetts is the most recent one, and they're giving out a $900 retroactive check this week. As you can see, majority of the states have been approved. The most recent one that just got approved is Delaware, followed by Illinois, Wisconsin, South Carolina. Moving on to stimulus. Before we get into the US stimulus, I just wanted to mention that France just revealed their stimulus that's worth 100 billion euros, which accounts for almost 4% of its GDP and is bigger than any other European economy. So this is bigger than Germany's package, which I covered a few weeks ago. By the way, Germany is extending their unemployment benefits for an additional 12 months. Meanwhile, in the US, we have to fight tooth and nail just to get an extra few weeks of unemployment benefits. All right, so back to the US, let's talk about the second stimulus checks. So as usual, I want to keep it real with you and give you this information up front. We are nowhere near close to getting a stimulus package or a second stimulus check. Nothing has been voted yet, nothing official, nothing confirmed. Steve Mnuchin, President Trump are on board with second stimulus checks, as well as the Democrats, but now the Republicans don't want to have second stimulus checks. So McConnell's skinny stimulus, which is the Republican senators' stimulus package, they don't want to have stimulus checks included in this $500 billion package. It's going to have unemployment, it's going to have money for vaccines, opening up schools, but nothing for stimulus checks. According to Mitch McConnell, there are Republican senators in tough races that want to vote on a rescue package as soon as possible, thinking that, I guess, by voting and approving a stimulus package that doesn't include stimulus checks will help out with their races for any Republican senators that are up for re-election. McConnell wants it. McConnell said today is that every member who's up for re-election who has any hint of vulnerability wants a bill that gets 51 votes. The reason why 51 votes is because that's how many votes it'll take in order to pass this bill in the Senate. If this does pass in the Senate, it will not pass in the House because the House is majority of Democrats. So regarding a stimulus package or stimulus checks, we're still at a stalemate. Congress is still out on this taxpayer-funded 1-month vacation. Senate is getting back on Tuesday, and supposedly on Tuesday they're going to talk with the White House about what they should include in this skinny stimulus bill. But President Trump is not going to go for anything that does not have stimulus checks. Since President Trump promised many times for generous stimulus checks, it would make him look really bad if he actually approved something that did not have stimulus checks. So I still have hope in that. And then I got a comment from Larry Cordero saying that Mark Ruffalo is right. We need more actors, musicians, and sports players to fight and make more videos for Americans struggling to make ends meet. Thanks for the tips, Bella. So I agree with you. Mark Ruffalo did a great job of using his voice, his platform. He has millions of followers to talk about how Americans are treated by our government, which is out on vacation right now. I'll play that clip in a minute. Also, my daughter Bella is actually giving tips of the day at the end of this video. She did in yesterday's video, and she'll do it at the end of this video if you want to see that as well. Here's that clip by Mark Ruffalo.
Our other senators, both Republican and Democrat, shame on you for not addressing this issue and not fighting every single day. Why are we not hearing from our leadership? Why are we not hearing from our candidates about 20 million people about to be turned out on the streets? We need to make this a national issue. We need to make it a presidential issue. And the reason that we don't have more than half Americans not voting is because we're not taking care of them. The Republicans aren't taking care of them, and the Democrats aren't taking care of them, and we're not even talking to them.
Let me know down in the comments below, are there any other celebrities or people with a big following that are using their voice to support the American people? Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to point them out as well. So in terms of the payroll tax deferral, what's going on is 1.3 million federal workers don't have a choice, but they are going to participate in this payroll tax deferral program. If you weren't aware, basically the way it works is until the end of 2020, you're going to get an additional 6.2% in your paycheck, which means for every $1,000, you're going to get an additional $62. But in the first 3 months of 2021, so starting January 1st, you're going to get taxed 12.4% on your paycheck, which means you're going to have to pay $124 for every $1,000 you get in your paycheck. So you're going to be given that 6.2%, but then be taxed double in 2021. I asked many of you what you thought about this. A lot of you were not for this. If you work for a private company, the employers are usually giving an option to opt out of this if you want to. Moving on to evictions and rental assistance. So Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi are calling for rental assistance from Republicans. Basically, what they're saying is right now over 40 million Americans are at risk of eviction, yet Republicans refuse to recognize the needs of working families facing the accelerating threat of eviction and skyrocketing debt. So President Trump did pass an executive order that is going to potentially help 43 million renters. So with this eviction moratorium, basically the way it works is the CDC is saying that it's a threat to people's health for people to get evicted, because then that'll spread the virus more. So that's a very clever loophole in order to have an eviction moratorium. So they're having that eviction moratorium. There are a few different obstacles in order to be approved for this eviction moratorium. You have to certify, you have to have a written certification saying that you tried to do everything you can in order to not be evicted. You have to make less than $99,000 as an individual, $198,000 as a couple, as well as a few other hoops to jump through, which aren't too hard in order to be eligible for this eviction moratorium. But there are some rental assistance programs too. The only issue is with this eviction moratorium is that the renters are not going to pay their rent, which means that the landlords have to pay for the mortgage, have to pay for all the other expenses, which is the reason why that the $175 billion that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are announcing may be beneficial, because then that will help out the landlords. That was in their HEROES Act, which was passed back in May. But there are some rental assistance programs that are going state by state. For example, Washington state counties, they just announced that there's going to be $100 million in rental assistance distributed, which I think is great news. Also, Nevada decided to extend their eviction moratorium by an additional 45 days. So their eviction moratorium ended September 1st, and they're also going to add an additional $10 million in rental assistance program. So there are states that are doing their own rental assistance programs. So far, we don't have a national program. If you want to see if there's any rental assistance programs in your area, I have this spreadsheet completely free. You can check it out down in the description below. Also, it's really hard to keep up with. It doesn't have all of the information it should. But if you're interested in becoming an administrator, where I would just make you part of this document, because it's live and you could just do the research and edit yourself, comment down below administrator. I want to keep this as a free resource for as many people as possible, and unfortunately I can't do it all myself, so let me know if you're interested. And that's all the stimulus news I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. If you want to support the channel, free way to do so, hit the like button down below, subscribe to the channel, comment. Those type of things really help out the channel. Also, back by popular request, here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hello guys! I just wanted to dress up so nice for you guys because I know you guys were going to come on here. So guys, I just really love you. You guys make my day. I want to give you 3 things of the tip of the day. So first off, be happy, be grateful, and be humble. And then I want to do one more thing to you. Do the things that you want to do in a lifetime. Guys, you guys can do whatever you want, at least if you want to do it. Because I'm here for you.
And if you were thinking about buying a car, there's a specific formula that helps you figure out how much car you could afford without going into debt. I recommend clicking this video over here. It's called the 24-10 rule. It goes over a process of how to calculate how much of a car you could actually afford. It's on my second channel, Wise Sense, which teaches how to earn money, make money, manage money, invest money. Or if you want, you could click this playlist down over here for more second stimulus check updates, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.